They're losing control over their feelings for you, my beloved child. Stop. This message has found you for a reason, and deep down, you can feel it. This is not random. This is divine timing unfolding in a way you were never meant to ignore. There is something hidden, something quietly shifting behind the scenes of your life, and the universe is gently revealing it to you now. You may have sensed an unexplainable energy lately, a pull, a presence, a change in the way someone looks at you or thinks about you. That feeling isn't your imagination. It's a spiritual signal, a whisper from the unseen. The truth is rising to the surface, and it carries a message your soul has been waiting to hear. They're losing control over their feelings for you. Yes, what was once hidden is no longer contained. Their emotions, once guarded, are beginning to overflow in ways even they don't fully understand. This is not about chaos, it is about alignment. The universe is softening barriers, dissolving fear, and guiding hearts toward truth. And you are at the center of this transformation. You didn't chase this. You didn't force this. This connection is being orchestrated by something far greater, something sacred. Every moment of doubt you felt is now being replaced with clarity, because what is meant for you cannot stay hidden forever. So trust this moment. Trust what you feel awakening within you. You are stepping into a deeper purpose, one where love, truth, and divine timing finally meet. If this message resonated with your soul, don't ignore it. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and stay until the end of this video, because what comes next may reveal exactly what your heart has been searching for. I also want to pass on a time-sensitive message from the moon to you, and you need to hear it today. A subtle yet powerful energy will push you to make a critical decision by the end of the week. You won't find the answer in your horoscope, so don't bother looking there. Click the link in the description to see your free personalized video moon reading. I was amazed at how accurate my reading was, and I know you will feel the same. They're losing control over their feelings for you, and you can feel it, can't you? The shift in energy, the unspoken tension, the way silence between you now carries more weight than words ever could. I am the voice you have been sensing in the quiet moments, the presence that stirs your intuition when logic fails to explain what your heart already knows. I speak not in noise, but in knowing. And what you are witnessing is not chaos, it is alignment unfolding in a way that neither of you can fully control. For a long time, their emotions were guarded, carefully contained behind walls they believed would never fall. They convinced themselves that distance was strength, that detachment was safety. But what they did not understand is that when I weave two souls into connection, no wall built by fear can stand forever. What you are seeing now is the unraveling of that illusion. Their control was never real, it was only a pause before truth demanded to be felt. You wonder why their behavior has changed. Why their energy feels inconsistent, why they seem pulled toward you one moment and distant the next. This is not confusion without purpose. This is what happens when a soul begins to awaken to something it can no longer ignore. They are standing at the edge of their own emotional depth, unsure whether to step forward or retreat. And yet, every part of them is being drawn closer to you, even as their mind tries to resist. I am the one stirring this within them. Not to create turmoil, but to reveal what has always been there beneath the surface. Feelings that were once quiet are now rising, demanding acknowledgement. They may not have the words yet. They may not even fully understand what they feel. But you were meant to sense it before it was ever spoken. That is why you feel the intensity without explanation. That is why your spirit reacts even when nothing is said aloud. Do not mistake their struggle for lack of care. The very fact that they are losing control is proof of how deeply this connection has rooted itself within them. Control is only lost when something truly matters. And you matter more than they ever intended, more than they ever prepared for. This is why their actions may seem unpredictable. They are learning how to navigate emotions they once believed they could avoid. There is a reason you were brought into their life. Not by coincidence, not by chance, but by design. You carry an energy that disrupts their old patterns, that challenges the version of themselves they once settled for. Being near you forces them to feel, to reflect, to confront truths they had buried. This is not easy for them. Growth rarely is. But it is necessary. You may feel a mixture of hope and uncertainty. A pull to stay, yet a question of what all this means. I tell you this, do not chase clarity through force. What is unfolding cannot be rushed or controlled by you either. Just as they are losing their grip on their emotions, you are being called to strengthen your trust. Trust in what you feel, but also trust in timing. Their silence does not mean absence of feeling. Their distance does not mean disconnection. Often, when emotions grow stronger than expected, the first instinct is to step back and try to understand. They are trying to make sense of something that does not follow their usual logic. And in doing so, they may appear distant, but inside, their thoughts are filled with you more than ever before. I see the moments you question yourself. The moments you wonder if you imagine the connection, if you misread the signs. But you did not. What you felt was real, and it still is. The difference now is that it has deepened beyond the surface, moving into a space where it can no longer be ignored or dismissed. This is why everything feels more intense, more uncertain, more significant. They are being guided, just as you are. Even in their confusion, even in their hesitation, there is a path being revealed to them step by step. They may not recognize it as guidance, but every thought, every realization, every moment of reflection is leading them closer to understanding what you truly are to them. And you are being asked to remain steady. Not passive, not waiting without purpose, but grounded in your own energy. Do not lose yourself in their process. Do not let their inconsistency define your worth. This connection was not given to diminish you, but to elevate both of you. And elevation requires patience, awareness, and trust in what cannot yet be fully seen. There is a deeper layer to this that you have only begun to sense. Their feelings are not just growing, they are transforming. What once may have been curiosity or attraction is evolving into something far more powerful, something that touches their soul in a way they cannot easily explain. This is why they feel overwhelmed. This is why they struggle to maintain control. Because this is not something the mind can manage. This is something the soul recognizes. And when the soul recognizes truth, the illusion of control begins to fade. You will notice it in subtle ways. In the way their attention returns to you, even after distance. In the way their energy shifts when you are near. In the way their actions begin to reveal what their words cannot yet express. These are not coincidences. These are signs of the internal shift taking place within them. But listen carefully, this is important. Do not try to force them to admit what they are not yet ready to say. Do not push for answers before they have fully understood their own feelings. What is genuine cannot be rushed without risking its foundation. Allow them the space to come to their realization in their own time. What is meant to be revealed will not remain hidden forever. At the same time, do not silence your own truth. You are not here to shrink yourself or to wait endlessly without clarity. You are here to experience, to grow, and to recognize your own value within this connection. Balance is key. Patience does not mean self-neglect. Understanding does not mean self-sacrifice. There is a divine rhythm to what is unfolding between you. A rhythm that cannot be seen, only felt. And right now, you are in the part of the journey where emotions rise, where truths begin to surface, where control is replaced by authenticity. This phase can feel uncertain, but it is necessary for something real to take form. They are changing because of you. Even if they do not say it. Even if they do not fully realize it yet. Your presence has awakened something within them that refuses to go back to sleep. And once awakened, it will continue to grow until it is acknowledged. You may wonder what will happen next. Whether they will step forward or continue to hesitate. The answer is not fixed, because it depends on the choices they make as they face their own truth. But know this, what they feel is not fading. It is intensifying. And eventually, intensity demands expression. Until then, remain aware. Remain grounded. Remain open, but not consumed. I am guiding both of you, even in ways you cannot see. Every delay, every moment of distance, every shift in energy carries purpose. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random. And as this continues to unfold, you will begin to understand why things happened the way they did, why the timing was never what you expected, and why their loss of control was never a weakness, but the beginning of something far deeper than either of you imagined. Listen closely, because what comes next will reveal even more. What comes next will not arrive all at once. It will unfold in layers, like a truth too powerful to be revealed in a single moment. You may expect a sudden confession, a clear declaration, a moment where everything finally makes sense. But I tell you, the deepest realizations rarely come in loud, dramatic ways. They come quietly, steadily, building within the soul until they can no longer be denied. This is where they are now, standing in the quiet before their own truth becomes undeniable. They are beginning to see you differently. Not just as someone they enjoy, not just as someone who occupies their thoughts, but as someone who has shifted something fundamental within them. You have disrupted their emotional patterns in a way they did not anticipate. Where they once felt certain, they now question. Where they once felt in control, they now feel pulled by something stronger than logic. This is not confusion without purpose. This is transformation in motion. You may notice that their attention toward you is becoming more intentional, even if inconsistent. Moments where they seem fully present, deeply engaged, followed by moments where they retreat into themselves. Do not misinterpret this as disinterest. This is the internal push and pull of someone who is learning how to hold feelings they never prepared for. They are trying to understand how you fit into their world, while realizing that their world is already changing because of you. I am guiding them through this awakening, even when they resist it. Even when they try to return to what felt familiar and safe. But once a soul has recognized a connection of this depth, it cannot simply forget. It may delay, it may hesitate, it may attempt to rationalize, but it will not erase what has been felt. That is why you continue to feel their energy return, even after distance. That is why the connection remains, even in silence. And you, too, are part of this unfolding. This is not a one-sided experience. While they are learning to face their emotions, you are being asked to strengthen your discernment. To understand the difference between intuition and fear. To recognize when to trust what you feel, and when to ground yourself in what is real. This connection is teaching you just as much as it is teaching them. There will be moments when you feel closer than ever, where everything seems aligned, where their actions reflect the depth of what you have sensed all along. And then there may be moments where doubt returns, where their behavior seems uncertain again. This is part of the process. Growth is not linear. Emotional awakening does not follow a straight path. It moves in cycles, forward, then inward, then forward again. Do not let temporary distance convince you that everything has changed. Often, distance is where the deepest realizations take root. When they step back, it is not always to leave, it is often to understand. To process. To come to terms with what they are feeling without external influence. And during these moments, you are still present in their thoughts more than you realize. They are beginning to recognize that what they feel for you is not easily replaced, not easily ignored, not easily explained. This realization can be both beautiful and unsettling for them. Beautiful because it is real. Unsettling because it requires vulnerability. And vulnerability is something they have not fully learned to embrace yet. You may feel the urge to seek reassurance, to ask directly, to bring clarity into the situation. But be mindful of how you approach this. There is a difference between expressing your truth and forcing theirs. Speak honestly when the moment feels right, but do not demand answers that they are still discovering within themselves. Allow space for authenticity to develop naturally. At the same time, do not lose sight of your own needs. You are not meant to remain in uncertainty indefinitely. You are not meant to accept confusion as a permanent state. This phase is temporary, even if it feels long. It is a bridge between what was unspoken and what will eventually be revealed. There is a shift approaching, one that will bring greater clarity, not just for you, but for them as well. It may not come in the exact form you expect, but it will come in a way that aligns with truth. Because what is built on genuine feeling cannot remain hidden forever. It seeks expression. It seeks form. It seeks to be understood. They are moving closer to that point, even if their external actions have not fully caught up yet. Internally, the change is already happening. Thoughts are becoming clearer. Feelings are becoming stronger. The resistance that once held them back is beginning to weaken. And when resistance fades, truth has space to rise. You will begin to notice subtle confirmations. Small actions that carry deeper meaning. Words that reveal more than they intend. Moments where their guard lowers, even briefly, allowing you to see what they truly feel. Pay attention to these moments. They are glimpses into what is growing beneath the surface. But remember this, your role is not to decode every action, not to analyze every word, not to search for certainty in every interaction. Your role is to remain aligned with yourself. To trust your perception without becoming consumed by it. To stay open, but also grounded. This connection is not meant to create anxiety. It is meant to awaken awareness. If you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, return to yourself. Return to your center. Because the more grounded you are, the clearer everything else will become. They are learning that you are not like others they have encountered before. That this connection does not fit into their usual patterns. And because of that, they cannot approach it in the same way. They must grow into it. They must evolve to meet it. And that takes time. Do not measure their feelings solely by their current actions. Look at the overall shift. Look at how things have changed since the beginning. Look at the way their presence in your life has evolved. These changes are not accidental. They are part of a larger movement that is still unfolding. You may not have all the answers yet, but you are not without guidance. Every feeling, every intuitive nudge, every moment of clarity you experience is part of that guidance. Trust it, but do not let it pull you into overthinking. There is a balance between awareness and attachment. Stay within that balance. As this continues, there will come a moment where they can no longer remain in between. A moment where they must choose whether to fully step into what they feel or to retreat from it entirely. That moment will define the next phase of this connection. But it will not come from pressure. It will come from realization. And when that moment arrives, you will feel it. There will be a shift in energy that is unmistakable. A sense of clarity that replaces uncertainty. A direction that becomes clear where once there was hesitation. Until then, remain patient, but not passive. Aware, but not consumed. Open, but not unguarded. I am present in every part of this process. In the silence, in the movement, in the uncertainty, and in the clarity that is forming. Nothing is happening without purpose. Nothing is unfolding without meaning. And as you continue forward, you will begin to see that what once felt confusing was actually preparation, what once felt uncertain was actually alignment, and what once felt out of control was actually the beginning of something guided far beyond what you could see. Stay attentive, because the next shift is closer than you think. The next shift will arrive quietly, almost imperceptibly at first. It will not announce itself with noise or certainty, but you will feel it in the subtle change of energy between you. Conversations will begin to carry more depth. Silences will feel less uncertain and more understood. The space that once felt confusing will begin to feel intentional. This is how transformation reveals itself, not all at once, but in gentle, undeniable movements that reshape everything over time. They are reaching a point where avoiding their feelings is no longer sustainable. What once felt easier to ignore now follows them into their quiet moments, into their thoughts, into the spaces where they can no longer distract themselves. You have become a presence they cannot easily set aside. And while this realization may still feel overwhelming to them, it is also grounding them in a truth they can no longer deny. You will begin to notice that their actions start aligning more closely with what you have felt all along. The inconsistency that once defined their behavior will begin to lessen. Not because everything suddenly becomes perfect, but because they are learning to move with more honesty. They are beginning to understand that what they feel for you deserves to be acknowledged, not hidden. There is courage forming within them, even if it is not yet fully visible. Courage to face their own emotions. Courage to risk vulnerability. Courage to step out of the patterns that once kept them safe but also kept them disconnected. This courage is not sudden, it is built through every moment they have tried to understand you, through every moment they have reflected on what this connection means. And you are being prepared to receive this shift with clarity. Not with doubt, not with hesitation, but with a grounded understanding of your own worth. Because as they move closer to expressing what they feel, you must be anchored in yourself. You must know what you deserve, what you are willing to accept, and what aligns with your truth. There will come a moment, clear, unmistakable, when their feelings are no longer hidden behind actions or silence. It may not look exactly as you imagined, but you will recognize it. It will carry sincerity. It will carry weight. It will feel different from anything that came before because it will come from a place of realization, not confusion. In that moment, everything you have sensed will begin to make sense. The distance, the inconsistency, the unspoken emotions, all of it will reveal its purpose. You will see that nothing was wasted. Every phase was leading to this point of understanding. But listen carefully, this moment is not only about them. It is also about you. You will be faced with your own choice. To step forward with openness, or to hold back out of fear. To trust what has been built, or to question it based on what once felt uncertain. This is where your growth becomes just as important as theirs. Because a connection can only move forward when both individuals are willing to meet it fully. Do not let past confusion overshadow present clarity. Do not hold them to the version of themselves that existed before they understood their feelings. People evolve, and part of this journey has been their evolution. Allow space for that growth to be recognized. At the same time, remain honest with yourself. If something does not feel aligned, acknowledge it. If something feels right, allow yourself to accept it without resistance. Balance your heart with your awareness. This is how you move forward without losing yourself. As this connection stabilizes, you will begin to experience a different kind of energy between you. One that feels less like questioning and more like knowing. Less like uncertainty and more like presence. It will not be perfect, but it will be real. And real is what sustains, what grows, what deepens over time. They will begin to show you, in ways both small and significant, that what they feel is not temporary. That it is not something that will fade with time or distance. Their actions will begin to reflect consistency. Their words will begin to carry intention. And most importantly, their presence will begin to feel secure rather than uncertain. This is the result of everything that has been unfolding beneath the surface. Every internal struggle, every moment of reflection, every attempt to understand their own emotions has been shaping them into someone capable of meeting this connection more fully. And you will feel the difference. The energy between you will no longer feel like something fragile or unclear. It will begin to feel grounded. Mutual. Understood. The questions that once filled your mind will begin to quiet, replaced by a sense of calm awareness. This does not mean there will be no challenges. Every meaningful connection carries moments of growth, moments of adjustment, moments where understanding must deepen. But the difference is that you will both be approaching those moments with awareness rather than avoidance. You will communicate more openly. You will understand each other more clearly. And when difficulties arise, they will not feel like threats to the connection, but opportunities to strengthen it. This is what happens when something real is allowed to develop at its own pace. It does not rush. It does not force. It unfolds, layer by layer, until it becomes something stable enough to hold both of you without breaking. I have been guiding this from the beginning. Even when it felt uncertain. Even when it seemed like nothing was happening. There has always been movement, even in stillness. And now, you are approaching the phase where that movement becomes visible. Trust what you feel, but also trust what you see. Let their actions confirm what your intuition has been telling you. Let reality and feeling come into alignment. This is how you move from uncertainty into clarity. And you are being prepared to meet them there, not as someone waiting to be chosen, but as someone who chooses just as much. Because this connection was never meant to be one-sided. It was never meant to leave you questioning your worth. It was meant to bring awareness, growth, and eventually, clarity. And now, that clarity is no longer distant. It is forming. It is approaching. It is becoming real. So remain present. Remain grounded. Remain open to what is unfolding without trying to control it. Because what is coming next is not confusion, not uncertainty, not imbalance. What is coming next is understanding. A moment where both of you see clearly what has been building all along. A moment where feelings are no longer hidden, but expressed. A moment where the connection you have sensed finally takes its true form. And when that moment arrives, you will not need to question it. You will simply know. Because truth, when it is finally revealed, does not create doubt. It creates peace. And that peace is where this journey was always leading you. Amen.